Okay, deep breath. I know the headline is irresistible. At 61, Hoda finally tells the truth about Savannah. It sounds explosive. It sounds like there's a secret waiting to detonate on live television. But before we get swept up in dramatic studio whispers and inside producer sources, we need to slow this down. There is no verified report of a secret on-air confession, no confirmed kidnapping, no FBI manhunt tied to Savannah Guthrie's family, and no hidden NBC cover-up. When stories start layering anonymous sources, leaked audio, buried letters, mining grudges, and network lawyers circling, that's usually a sign we've crossed from reporting into storytelling. And while storytelling can be entertaining, attaching unverified drama to real people's names is something we have to handle carefully. Public figures deserve scrutiny, yes, but they also deserve accuracy. The real story of Hoda and Savannah. Here's what we do know. Hoda Kotb and Savannah Guthrie built one of the most successful morning television partnerships in recent history on Today. After the Matt Lauer scandal reshaped NBC's morning lineup, the network leaned into something different: warmth, resilience, and visible female solidarity. Hoda brought emotional openness and lived through it grit. Savannah brought sharp legal instincts and measured authority. Their chemistry wasn't built on rivalry, it was built on balance. Over the years, viewers watched them laugh through bloopers, navigate pandemic broadcasts from home, interview presidents, and cry with guests telling difficult stories. That's not manufactured myth. That's documented television history. And it's powerful without needing secret letters or hidden rifts to make it interesting. Why we're drawn to hidden truths. Let's be honest, we're wired for behind-the-scenes drama. When two successful women share a platform for years, part of the internet automatically assumes tension, envy, ego, a breaking point waiting to happen. Add a vague producer source, and suddenly it feels insider exclusive. But here's the thing about long-term professional partnerships. They're complex without being scandalous. Of course there were hard days. Of course there were emotional conversations in green rooms. That's human. Working closely under intense public pressure creates deep bonds. It also creates normal friction. None of that requires secret betrayal or explosive revelations. Sometimes the truth is simply that two women supported each other through personal challenges while doing an incredibly demanding job in front of millions of viewers every morning. Hoda at 61. Evolution, not exposure. Hoda turning 61 isn't a scandal milestone, it's a testament. She has spoken openly for years about surviving breast cancer, adopting her daughters later in life, navigating heartbreak, and redefining purpose. Her transparency has always been her superpower. When she talks about vulnerability, it's usually about empowerment, not about exposing someone else's secrets. That's consistent with her brand and her track record. If she ever shares an emotional story involving Savannah, it would likely be framed around gratitude, growth, or shared resilience. Not a dramatic unveiling of hidden betrayal. That's the pattern of her career. Growth, reflection, sisterhood, not bombshell takedown. The headline energy doesn't match the woman we've watched for over a decade. Savannah's public strength, Savannah Guthrie, has also built a reputation around composure. From election nights to live interviews during cultural flashpoints, she's known for staying steady. When people describe her as controlled or measured, that's not a coded sign of emotional repression. It's a professional skill. Anchors are trained to maintain clarity under pressure. That doesn't mean they don't feel deeply. It means they regulate what they show. And when personal life intersects with public life, many journalists choose privacy over spectacle. Silence isn't proof of drama, it's often protection. The narrative of secret family shadows, mining grudges, or mysterious letters makes for gripping fiction, but there is zero credible reporting supporting those claims. The ethics of anonymous sources. The phrase, "my birdie at 30 Rock," is classic rumor architecture. It gives a story a sense of legitimacy without offering accountability. Real investigative journalism names sources when possible, or clearly identifies the outlet verifying information. It doesn't rely on party favors owed at holiday gatherings. That doesn't mean insiders never exist. They absolutely do. But when a story includes leaked tapes, buried letters, FBI chases, secret visits, and network legal panic, yet no major outlet confirms it, that's a red flag. If something truly explosive happened on the Today set, it wouldn't stay confined to whispered snippets. It would be everywhere, quickly and verifiably. Friendship doesn't require drama. One of the quieter truths about Hoda and Savannah's partnership is that it thrived because it didn't feed constant rivalry narratives. They showed up for each other publicly. They celebrated milestones. They supported each other's families. That doesn't mean they never disagreed. It means they handled whatever existed privately like professionals. The internet often insists that two successful women must secretly resent each other. But sometimes the less sensational explanation is the correct one. Mutual respect can exist without hidden resentment. And if there were ever personal tensions, those are human, not headline-worthy conspiracies. Not every close bond hides a fracture waiting to split. When headlines overshadow humanity, the most concerning part of these dramatic narratives isn't the studio gossip. It's when unverified crime details, kidnappings, blood trails, ransom notes, get woven in as emotional accelerants. Those are serious allegations. Attaching them to real families without confirmation crosses into dangerous territory. It creates anxiety, fuels speculation, and risks harming reputations. Real emergencies are handled by law enforcement and reported by credible news organizations. Until something is confirmed through those channels, repeating dramatic details as fact is irresponsible. It's okay to be curious. It's not okay to blur fiction and reality in a way that affects real people. What we can appreciate instead. If there's a meaningful takeaway here, it's this. Women in media supporting each other matters. Watching Hoda and Savannah navigate career upheaval together after the Lauer scandal was powerful. Seeing them bring warmth back to a shaken newsroom meant something. Their partnership showed that leadership doesn't have to be cold. That strength can look like compassion. That morning, television can evolve. That story stands on its own, without secret letters or shadow conspiracies. We don't need dramatic embellishment to appreciate what they built. Final thought: curiosity with care. It's completely natural to be intrigued by headlines promising the truth. But truth doesn't hide behind anonymous gossip. It shows up in verified reporting, direct interviews, and accountable sources. Until then, the dramatic version remains storytelling, not fact. Hoda Kotb at 61 doesn't need a bombshell to stay relevant. Savannah Guthrie doesn't need a hidden scandal to make her story compelling. Their real lives, the documented challenges, the public resilience, the visible friendship, are more than enough. And if either of them ever chooses to share something deeply personal, it will come from them directly, not from a whisper passed across a holiday party table.